Today's Indian club lesson involves wrist circles. Remember to grab the club with 3 fingers around the neck, pinky finger on the little knob at the end, and your thumb can wrap around. However, with the wrist circles, you're going to allow that thumb to be a little bit loose, as well as the fingers, yet still clamping onto the club with your thumb and forefinger, almost like a lobster claw. And what you'll be doing is very similar to hitting a hammer. You're going to sweep it downward, and as it's about to strike the nail, you kind of release your grip a bit, still pinching on as it comes back up and around. And just keep on doing it with that kind of action, and what you'll see is that the hand doesn't necessarily have to remain closed, but it'll open and can close again. So now we have some finger action as well as wrist mobility. The goal is to try and get your circle with the club as vertical as possible. What you begin to see is that my elbow has to drive inward, or else bad things are going to happen. So you're just going to continually make that circle around. Now, you can go backwards, but beware, it's a little bit more awkward at first, but once you start doing it and driving that elbow in to avoid punishment, it'll start to get more and more fluid. Now that's the outside wrist circle. Then we have the inside wrist circle, which demands the thumb move out of the way, or else it'll get caught as the club is trying to come around. So the thumb, more or less, is kind of performing thumb wrestling just before the wrestling match begins, just going back and forth and back and forth. So as we come around, the thumb gets out of the way and then crosses over again, striking down just like that hammer strike, but this time, as it's coming up, it's going inside the arm rather than on the outside of the arm. So it comes around, around, and around. Now, of course, you want to be careful of this little guy here that you don't get hit, so the arm has to stay extended outward. So as you make the outside circle, it's not as much of a concern because the head is out of the way. It's the elbow that you have to be concerned about. Inside circle, you definitely want to reach outward every time. And then once you develop this motion back and forth, you can start to alternate between an outside circle and an inside circle. And you'll see the thumb crosses back and forth without really even thinking about it, and then the elbow starts to drive in and out, and that arm continually extends outward. In and out. There you have it.